Mew. There's the Mew. I just did the laundry and washed all of that, and I covered the chairs up so that she couldn't be her licking, scratching self on everything. Anyway, she's breaking in all of the freshly laundered everything. That's what Mew does. So, oh, you caught it live. There you are. I don't know that I'm exciting live, but here I am. I'm live. The same as when I'm not live. Spokane, Washington. Very good. Mara Beth, I hope I said that right. You caught me live. Hi, you guys. Oh my gosh, right? Okay, this from Hot Springs Village. Very good. Okay. Oh, aloha. That is so exciting. Okay, this makeup is the same makeup I had on for 2 days. Guelph, Ontario, Florida. Absolutely. I literally slept in my makeup, Oklahoma, slept in my makeup so that I could get up early in the morning and look cute when I left. Because if it's on at night, then I'll look sort of cute in the morning with a ball cap on. You know, I'm always wearing a ball cap. Anyway, then I decided, I'm going to shower from the neck down because I don't want to wash my hair and I don't want to redo my makeup. So I stood in the shower like this. And then I did it 2 days in a row. So I'm clean from the neck down, and then I just pile on more makeup. And I may do it a third day, or I may take it off. We're not sure. So Pennsylvania, Texas. Yes, I just talked to Bobby in Texas. No, I keep wearing makeup. I've always done that. The less you wash your face, the better. I see people pulling their makeup off with those makeup pads, and I'm like, you're going to stretch your skin out. And don't wax under here. You know what they do when they wax? Rip. Hi, James, New York City, hell. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just pretending I'm on a drunk, 2-night bender, New Mexico, Minnesota. That's what I'm doing. But I'm not drunk. I'm not on a bender. I just sleep on my back so I don't get the makeup on everything. Or I put a towel under my head, and then I get up. And I look so cute because my makeup's done. That's what I do when I hike. But it's what happened when I got my eye twitch, The mascara got in my eye. Certain eye makeup I can wear and others I can't. Yeah, no, I saw that. Well, first of all, it's does your face get oily though? Yeah. I throw more makeup on. This is my motto for everything. Throw the fucking makeup on. Oil is good on your face. Don't ever kid yourself. Oil in your hair, oil on your face is super good because oil is what youth is, right? So dried skin is like, think of the desert with all the cracks through the sand. That's dry. You want oil. Throw some powder on it. Blot it out. Do whatever. Oil is good. They got everybody washing their hair every day and doing everything. Yeah. Yes, Bob Saget. I'm going to talk about that. Yeah, oil is fantastic. Fantastic. I just threw more makeup on. So, and I'm not believing it. This is what I'm doing. Vaseline, aka petroleum. Okay. Every good moisturizer, like for tattoos or scars or anything like that, has petroleum in it. Don't let them lie to you about petroleum. Okay. Don't let them lie to you. So I put Vaseline on my lips, and I'm going to put Vaseline on my face and make it whatever. Did I shave? No, my hairs are growing back. Anyway, 0 to 60. Wait, I use C60. I don't know what that is. Yes, I heard about that, Kristen. Thank you for reminding me of her name. I forgot. I use coconut oil on everything, You remove your eye makeup with Vaseline. I think Vaseline's the answer. Screw everybody that says petroleum and those things are bad. Yeah, I know what Bob Saget was. Actually, Sue asked me to do the show. I did a show with Bob Saget on Dr. Drew's wife's show called Calling Out with Susan Pinsky. And my instinct with him was neither here nor there. I mean, I thought he was like, I thought his new wife was too young for him, but that ain't my business, right? I was once a young wife to a much older man. So there you go. But at the time, when you get older and you realize things, you're like, I don't know how I feel about that, but that wasn't my business. Anyway, he was pretty, Kristen W. Of course she was killed. Well, Bob Saget, there's a lot that I picked up on his energy. So there's a lot of things that I picked up, and Well, I'll talk about it. Anyway, Sue texted me this morning and she said, "Do you want to do my show?" Yeah, of course he likes him young. She said, "Do you want to do my show? Do you remember him?" And I'm like, "Yes, I remember him. I'm not like brain dead. Partially brain dead, but not fully." And I did a show with him and I did a show with Alan Dershowitz. I can't say his name. You know, the lawyer on the Epstein logs? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay? Like they're all on these fucking logs. Whatever. Anyway, they're the Bob Saget thing's interesting. It made me go back. I'm gonna tell a story, which has nothing to fucking do with anything at all, but it made me remember a story when I did shit. Jason was in third grade, so Keithy must have not. I think maybe Keithy was in. Hi Anthony, how are you? What are you doing? Finished your workout in lockdown? I'm sorry. I escaped Toronto and I'd help you escape, but they won't let you cross the border. I'm telling you, I escaped Canada. No joke. I mean, I know Canadians hate it, but why is your government, little Justin Castro, doing that? Those pictures are going around the internet again. Little Justin with his father, Castro. Mm. Justin Tredoofus, courtesy of Anomaly. Anyway, because Pierre Trudeau does not look. Do you guys remember Pierre Trudeau? I remember Pierre Trudeau. Pierre Trudeau does not look anything like his children, and he was 40 years older than Justin's mother. God, not wife, mother. His mother is 75, I believe, Margaret Trudeau. And she fucked Mick Jagger and da-da-da. We had to hear these stories growing up. I was like, good for her, because her husband's gay, as far as I can tell. I can't prove it, but that's what I thought growing up. I'm like, is the husband gay? Thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much. Yeah, look at Mew Mew. She's on Keithy's blanket. Yeah, so I just couldn't even. Castro's been wearing an ankle bracelet. Of course he is. But I mean, as a kid, I was like, Pierre Trudeau is as gay as a blade. Like, whatever he is not that kid's father. Now, I could be wrong because sometimes I go crazy like that. But I'm just going to show you a picture of Pierre Trudeau. For those of you who don't know, he was famous, okay? He was famous for letting in, quote, the boat people. The boat people were the Korean people that were fleeing, whatever the hell goes on in, the Vietnamese people, whatever the hell was going on in Vietnam at the time that we caused, Anyway, I'm not going to get into 60s war garbage, but anyway, they were escaping it, and Pierre Trudeau was famous for letting them all into our country. It doesn't really matter. I'm watching Sloan, hubby watching football. Yeah, the men, they love the football. Okay, this is look at this. Doesn't he look like a rat face? This face on this man bothers me to death. This is Castro's father, little Justin Trudeau. This is his father. Does this look like his father? Now, obviously, Margaret, with her taste in men, I mean, he's not Mick Jagger's kid because he'd be super short, but, that's Pierre Trudeau. That was I know, right? Isn't he just like, doesn't he just look like you want to smack him in the face? You just want to go, pussy, and smack him. You remember Pierre Trudeau? That's Justin's father. 40 years older than Margaret when he married her at age 18. So that puts him at 58 years old, and she was basically sold to him, I'm pretty sure, right? I mean, she had to be sold. Like, who wants their 18-year-old daughter marrying a 58-year-old man? I might find a 58-year-old guy hot, but are you kidding? Like, she was 18. Does she want to get laid by somebody cute? I'm thinking she might have, that's just my thinking. Or even have like fun with somebody cute, like that. But I'm going to look at some other pictures. Pierre Trudeau. I don't know why I'm on the kick, but I was talking to the girl in the store when I was getting Lila a snow hat. And I was just talking about like Canada. No, that's more than a father figure. Pierre dated Kim Cattrall. Well, Kim Cattrall can let us all know if he's gay because I believe he is. Oh my God, he's disgusting. And here he, ew. Ugh. Here he is on my, here he is. Something about him has a Virgo face. Anyway, there he is with Babs, Barbara Streisand, Open the Borders. Can they come stay at your house, Babs? Can they? Why are people saying, because he died, Tracy. Anyway, yeah, Pierre Trudeau, quite frightening, really. Let's look up his chart. I gotta look his chart up because I really see Virgo in that face. That little rat face is like a loaded sixth house or Virgo. Don't get mad at me, Virgos. Don't. In a guy, it's just like he wasn't. No, Bob Saget neither. I'll tell you what I get. No, I love Virgo men. They're the kinkiest in bed. Okay? They're the kinkiest in bed. They are kinky. Virgos are great. They are like you think of Mickey Rourke when he was young, but look at Mickey Rourke now. The Virgo got him. Virgos are great. Loaded sixth house is great. They're all great. Loaded sixth house is like being a Virgo. They're great, but they're kinky. I'm not talking about that. I like Virgo men. I have Uranus and Pluto in Virgo in my first house. I like men with Virgo, okay? Mm. I'll also fight them because of the Pluto, but I like them. They are kinky and fun. Okay, you're not kinky, but just think Mickey Rourke. That's a hot Virgo guy. I mean, come on. It's not that. It's the shape of his face. The shape of his face, right? Let's look up Pierre Trudeau's birth chart. I wonder if he's rolling over in his grave. Yeah, Mickey Rourke was hot. Thank you for the super chat. Pierre Trudeau birth chart. I should have this prepared, but you know I wing it. Virgo was, porn addict. Well, they're kinky as shit. And they don't, whatever. Of course, I'm 68. 58-year-old man doesn't sound bad. Yeah, I know, right? Oh my God, yeah. That's cute, but you're like, I'm 60. I'm 68. That sounds fun. Okay. Oh, Pierre Trudeau was a Libra rising. Let's see his sun sign. Oh no, double Libra. I see something in Virgo there. He was October 18th, 1919. Margaret Trudeau was born in 1946 or 47, I believe. And yeah, he was the prime minister of my country all the way until the 80s. Yeah. Let's see. They aroused polarizing throughout Canada. Yeah, he was a little gay boy. That's who Pierre was. Pierre was gay. That's all I'm saying. And I can say it because there's nothing wrong with it, right? Right? So there should be nothing wrong with me saying he's gay. Yeah, covert. But I like Virgo men. I like them. Sorry. I like the kink in the Virgo. Plus, they have a good mind. So yes, Bobby told me. Bobby worked on the Robert Durst case. Bobby told me Robert Durst died. Is gay. Not was. Pierre, isn't he dead? The dad? He's dead. Like, how old is he? He's dead. Didn't he die? What are y'all talking about? Okay, now I got to research that. He has to be dead. Maybe not. Maybe he's 105. I'm not talking about the kid. The kid's a little pussy, though. Oh, God. Am I using that word? Tradoofus, the little boy, Justin Castro, is like a little soy boy. And I think I have a huge problem. And it sounds like I don't know. He's in my age range, as in he's born in 1968, I think. So, yeah, I am manic. You're right. I can't help it. Like, I'm not supposed to be serious here. I didn't realize I was on, 9.5 weeks, Mickey Rourke, right? Death by hotel room. Exactly. So here's the thing about me. I'm not a professional anything, so don't worry about how I present myself. It's a YouTube channel. It's my YouTube channel. No one gives a shit what you think, or if you think I'm manic. It's okay. I am manic. That's why I'm super fun to live with, okay? Like, I'm fun. Okay, there. He died in 2000. I thought so. Yeah, Doug Ford was a fat fuck and a porn addict. Remember Doug Ford? Wait, Rob Ford. Which one's the one that died? My mother dislikes Justin. Because your mother knows he's a soy boy. He literally drank too much soy. Yeah, whatever. This is my cup. I have them in every color, blue, yellow, and green. It came in a little stack. They were like $10, whatever. Rob. Is Rob the dead one? And Doug's the one in there now. Rob Ford died. Okay, Rob Ford. Let's not forget fat fuck Rob Ford, okay? And I'm calling him a fat fuck because he had every vice. He's the guy at the dinner table, shit-faced drunk, smoking the crack pipe, right? Seriously. Remember that in Toronto. He was smoking the crack pipe and got caught on the camera at a fast food restaurant, which just shows you fast food is not good for you because he got caught on the camera. After He went down on a maybe male prostitute, maybe female, dresses a female, we're not really sure. And then he proceeded in front of his wife at a press conference to talk about how he liked to eat the vajayjay, but his wife was standing behind him like this. It was like, what did he just say? What the fuck did he just say? What did he say? Right? Okay, I'm going to do a video on Bob Saget. All right, so total corruption. I mean, who says in front of their wife, I like to eat, Pussy on national TV during a press conference only in Canada? Oh, Canada, my heart is with you. Okay, so it's definitely fantastic. And how does how do you get caught on camera outside of the fast food restaurant telling people to fuck off while you're smoking the crack pipe and banging a prostitute who may or may not be male or female? We don't know. Yeah, let's see. Feed Trudeau 3 supersize. I know, right? It's like hilarious to me. Hilarious. Just hilarious. Trailer Park Boys style. I know people were like, it's not funny, it's politics. I'm like, if you don't see what politics is and you believe politics, then I can't help you. This is exactly what politics is. I felt sorry for his wife, though. I really felt sorry. And then somehow his brother got elected in. Like, aren't they from the same family? Okay, so let's talk Rob Ford, Canada. Rob Ford. Swear to God. I had the best year talking about it. I'm like, I so miss my homeland because politicians are whores on every level. They call women whores, prostitutes whores, men whores, male whores, fuck boys. No, prostitutes are prostitutes. There are no prostitutes except for politicians. The rest of the people are trying to earn a living. Politicians are literally raping you daily. Rob Ford, yes. Tommy Boy, oh my God, he's a real Tommy Boy, running around with that suit and that fat, and would he die of cancer at 45? Here's a note to self. When you smoke crack, do steroids, snort cocaine, and you have cancer in your... I know, you're in Toronto, George, but I was there. I escaped. And they wouldn't buy that it was political asylum when I applied for my green card here. I had to go to the back of the line behind England to get into this country because they're like, you're not here under political asylum. I'm like, I am here under political asylum. You just don't know it yet. I've always said it. And so I have these asshole people around me. They're like, Canada's so great and it's universal health care. I'm like, are you delusional? Do you know the taxes Canadians pay? Go there and live. Shut up and go there and live. Because the rest of them are coming somewhere else so they can buy food. Okay? Anyway, is she twitching her paw? Oh, yeah, she's sleeping. You found David Icke. Good. Yes. Okay. You saw it coming. I bailed. I was like, this is communist. I said it as a kid. They all thought I was fucking crazy. I'm like, I left Canada in 1986. Okay? September 15th, 86. Oh. Anyhow. And I was going to leave a year earlier, but you know how karma comes around when you feel like it. At the time, a pack of cigarettes, yes, I smoked cigarettes at the time, a Pie Tracy in Michigan, at the time, I paid $10 for a pack, $8 and like 95 cents for a pack of cigarettes back then. We had to call the bootlegger when I was growing up, unless you had liquor in the house. And if you were an underage kid, you didn't have liquor in the house. So you called a bootlegger to bring booze to the house because it was kind of dry on Sundays, like they closed down. Yeah, thread. I don't do anything to eyebrows. I just pluck under here. I don't do that. Yeah, I don't thread. I never wax because it'll pull your eyes off your face. Anyway, Canada. And then Canada, you had to, as a little kid, I would go with my dad in the freezing snow. We would go to the hardware store. We'd go to the tire store. We'd go do something fun, toboggan, whatever. And then we'd go to the beer store and the liquor store because none of it was sold in the grocery store. That's Canada. Puritanical British at its best. All right. Puritanical British. Yonge Street. Yes. Yes. Yonge Street north of Dundas. I lived down there. I forget the street I lived on, but that was the hooker track anyway. So there you go. Sloan, I lost 5 pounds. You did it though. Oh my God, you did it. Yes, 5 pounds. Good girl. Keep doing it. Do other things. Every time you want to eat, walk. I just paid my taxes today. Oh my God, I know. Okay, Bob Saget. First, Betty White. Now don't hate me. Don't hate me. I was never a fan of Betty White. And I knew something was up with her because she wasn't particularly talented and not particularly untalented. She was whatever. But when she made it, look, I'm scrunching my neck now, my back. Oh my God. Okay, but when she made it in her late 60s again, I was like, yes, capitalism is capitalism better. No, socialism, communism. Let's do that like North Korea. Let's lock down. Everybody should be equal. Yes, capitalism's better. You know why? I don't need, maybe I work harder doing my job than somebody else. Why should we be paid the same? It takes away the competitiveness for you to achieve. Yes, I've got a real problem with that. Yes, capitalism is better. Charge what you want for your worth. People don't have to buy it. And if they don't want to pay for it, then they don't have to buy it. That's capitalism. Socialism is everybody deserves the same pay, which is bordering on communism. Everybody should get the same, and we're going to dictate to you what we get. Yeah, I mean, please. Is so yes, it's tier. I know. Yes, capitalism. I'm not a fan of corporate America. I'm a fan of if you do your job really well, I will find you and I will refer you word of mouth and I will continue to do so and continue. Well, they all want socialism. Somebody just actually said here, well, it doesn't matter what the answer is. I prefer to live in America. I don't need to live in a country where you need the yellow star to go in the grocery store as they do in Quebec. I don't need that. I'm sorry. And I like capitalism in that if I can set my own prices. I don't need you to tell me what I should be charging. I'm not going to do the work if you do that. Oh, I'm not. And I'm not going to pay for everybody who doesn't bother to work too. So there you go. Yeah. So anyway, Sweden, I don't know about Sweden. Actually, Sweden's been taken over. I have 4 clients in Sweden and they tell me a lot of stuff. Yes, some people do require government assistance, and that's unfortunate because they have not been taught through our countries, either country, all countries, that they can do it on their own if they try. The only people I feel that should have government assistance, if something happens to you and you're injured in the war, all vets should get government assistance, bar none. They fight for their countries. They should definitely get it. Women with children should get it. But I got to say this, across the street from me, we got a bunch of people getting government assistance, driving better cars with a shit ton of nails on that they're paying with the government assistance in EBT cards. That's what it is. Yeah, I don't think so. I think you should have to work. We all have to struggle. You're not fucking entitled to anything. We all struggle. There were times when I didn't have 60 cents to buy coffee when my kids were growing up. There were points where I didn't actually have the cash to go to Starbucks. $4 and I couldn't even go to 7-Eleven. There were times I had to rob my couch for money. That's what you have to do. I mean, that's just the reality. Sorry if you're like butthurt by that, but that's your own problem. Not women with children. I'm not talking, but if you're an able-bodied man if you're a man and you choose not to work and you have not fought for your country and you don't have any disabilities, then you're a drug addict, basically. You're lazy as fuck and your job as a man is to go out and hunt. So go out and hunt. Even if you work at McDonald's, do something. I had to rob my couch. No, I really did. Anyway, I never liked Betty White. And you don't have to like me if I say that, but I pay a shit ton in taxes, which is fine, whatever. I pay less than in Canada. But, you know, when you're paying taxes, all of the entitlement programs that they have, first of all, where did the money go for the homeless? Oh, that's right. Newsom packed it in his pockets with Nancy Pelosi, the drunk one. You know, the drunk one in San Francisco, the needle junkie down there, whatever she's doing, that one. No, vets definitely get everything. Vets should not pay for another thing in their life. Vets are sent out by our veterans. American veterans are sent out by our government. They usually attack poverty-stricken people who don't have a way out of their poverty. So they give them a way into the army to educate them. And then they blow off their limbs in fake wars that they create for the government. So they should definitely be taken care of. Definitely. They don't use it on the misfortune. No, that's the problem. If it was actually going where it said, that would be one thing, but it isn't. You should see the homeless. I go on about this. Anyway, Betty White, I never cared for her acting or didn't care for her acting. Like she was on the Mary Tyler Moore show. I don't care either way. You know, not a fan. Yeah, To Sir with Love. I really like that book, To Sir with Love. I didn't like the movie. I liked the book. I read the book as a kid, as a small kid. But I like Betty White was neither here nor there. I didn't watch the Golden Girls. I'm not going to watch that because, none of those women were really getting laid in real life. Well, maybe. But anyway, I'm not going to do that. However, when Betty White really started to make a comeback, I knew something was off. I didn't know what it was at the time. Yeah, I never watched the Golden Girls. It just wasn't my thing. And I just didn't care for it. No, I didn't care for any of it, honestly. I never watched it, so I can't really tell you. There's a lot of shows I didn't watch. I really like Dick Van Dyke, which is neither here nor there and not what we're talking about. I like Dick Van Dyke. I liked Mary Tyler Moore in her early, presentation as Dick Van Dyke's wife. I thought it was great. I thought he's a Sag. I thought he was a great comedic timing, Dick Van Dyke. But his brother's niece, she was in porn. So ask yourself what was going on there. What's going on in the family? So Sidney Poitier, I absolutely love the books To Sir with Love. He died, but he was 94, somewhere in there. Yeah, if you don't like me, sign off my channel. Thank you. No one says you have to watch. Who's forcing you to watch? Like, why do people come on and go, I don't like you? Did somebody fucking ask you if you like me? Do I fucking care? No, like, don't like me. Who the hell asked you? Like, nobody. And if you don't like me, I still don't care. Anyway, yeah, so when Betty White died, she's 99, which is 66. And they still had all these parties to celebrate her, to roast her, and they're still going to. Here's what happens. And then I'm going to talk about Bob Saget, just from what I picked up this morning. And I did one show with him at Dr. Drew's house, in Dr. Drew's basement. He hides psychics in the basement. No, his wife does, for her show, Calling Out with Susan Pinsky. Anyway, I did one show with Bob Saget down there in the basement. Sounds like we're being held hostage in the basement. But whatever. Anyway, when Betty White died and they used the energy to do her roast, like a Kennedy Center honors the roast, okay? All of that. When they roast these people and they do that, what they do is they blast it. They sell tickets, they sell food, they sell everything. They promote it all over TV. Then they get your energy focused on it. This is why I don't do those things. I do not watch anything like that. I don't watch your Oscars. I don't watch your Emmys. I don't watch your Grammys. I don't care what it is. I'm not watching it because you are usurping my energy by my thoughts while I'm watching it. I don't know how it happens exactly, but when you get a collective group of people having Oscar parties, watching these actors, and like, then you believe that there's something with them. But what I have always said, now, and I'm a fan of Marilyn Monroe. I love Marilyn Monroe. So it's not that I don't fall prey to the actors and love them, and Brad Pitt, whatever. But what they do when they do that is they make you feel like those people are to be admired. And they're not. Maybe some are, maybe some are not. Blanket statement either way is not going to work. But they make you feel like, oh my God, we have to listen to them. It's a form, and I could always pick it up. Why? Because the Oscars are done by them for them. So that's like me saying, I'm the world's best psychic. Okay, first of all, you can't be the world's best everything because you're not interviewing everybody in the world. So when any psychic goes, voted world's best psychic, I'm like, who? Who voted you this? You probably fucking know them. You paid for a membership in their little community of people. A lot of those, we tested our psychic sites, they pay, okay? Like Bob Olson, when he first started out, asked me, do you want to give me a reading and I can put you up on the site and da-da-da? No, I'm not interested. Thank you so much, but no. I don't need to be verified by you. You're not the proof of me. The proof of me is I'm either employed or I'm not. You people either come for readings or they don't, and whatever, it's up to them. And so I don't need to, when will I win my Emmy? You will be with me. Exactly, Esther. Well, that's different if I'm invited to you. I did the Golden Globes one year, 2010, and there was a lot of rehearsing. Nothing is said off the cuff. It is rehearsed. I had hours of rehearsal for the Golden Globes. I had to sit through everybody's rehearsal. Lords of London, a bunch of other people. And we were in the hotel rooms in the Beverly Hills. Yes, Bob Saget. Okay, Tom Cruise, De Niro, Stallone. Wait. Yeah, one of the big three. And oh yeah, well, I can tell you Stallone stories, but that's via third party information. I can tell you those stories. But these people are giving themselves awards for themselves. So I'm not going to take you seriously, just like I'm not going to take psychics seriously that go, this was the world famous psychic all around the world voted. Well, you haven't interviewed all the psychics around the world to even say something so stupid. You do not know every psychic around the world. So how can you say that, right? Just ridiculous. So anyway, I didn't care for Betty White. I did not care for Betty White. I don't have an opinion either way, but I can tell you when I look at her face, I don't like her energy. That's all I can tell you. So I know there's something going on. I have my own opinion about what she was. And I do believe that she was one of them. And that's the way she found fame at her age. The things that I heard with Ryan Reynolds, fellow Canadian, I believe. But anyway, Ryan Reynolds, the things that I heard from his mouth doing skits with her, calling her a demon, calling her this. She had one of those faces with those witches' noses. Like she just looks like how she is. I don't know what to say. People want to glorify her. Go ahead and glorify her all you want. Doesn't matter to me. People glorify, Charles Manson got married in jail. So go do it. Doesn't mean I have to like him. Doesn't mean I have to applaud him. Same thing to me. I don't see a difference. I know what they do behind the scenes. But little tiny women size men. Little tiny women size men. Okay, I'm so confused. Little tiny women size men. You mean she was a little tiny man sized as a woman? Okay. Anyway, yeah, I didn't Windsor, Ontario. There you go. I love Windsor. My dad was from Windsor. Adopted dad. Who is my dad? He raised me. Not bio dad though. Maybe he was. But anyhow, used to take the Windsor Bridge all the time over to Detroit. You know that bridge. She was a little woman. Yeah, well, I'm sure she was a tiny person. Like people, different generations grow bigger. But my point is, they will use the energy of Betty White. They will use her energy and they will do all these roasts and all these events. And oh, poor Betty, she's going to be 100, but she died before it. Just, it doesn't matter. They're profiteering off of her deliberately because she died. And they are the ones that caused her death probably. But granted, however she did die, which I don't believe is the way that they're saying she died. However she did die, she was 99. So you are going to die at some point if you're lucky. I mean, why the hell do you want to stay here? But anyway, if you die, it is what it is, right? So, yeah, I don't know what to say. But anyway, they're going to use that and they're going to take the energy of everybody around and focus it. It's why we have to watch 9/11 stuff every year. It's like, shut up already. Do something about it or shut up. And that's not to say for the victims' families, because those are the people that should be remembered, but that's not what they're pushing on the TV. They're pushing the emotional purse strings of people in order to usurp energies. Okay, that's what they're doing. Now, Bob Saget. So I did a show with, I heard that she was Barbara Bush's sibling, AKA Aleister Crowley, AKA Sex Magic, AKA L. Ron Hubbard and Jack Parsons. I finally got his name right. I like to say Jim Parsons from Young Sheldon, but it's Jack Parsons. Anyway, there was a Young Sheldon reference from a couple years back about a virus pandemic where everybody had to wear masks. I thought that was interesting. I just saw it pop up on someone's thing. But anyway, yeah, all of those three were roommates. Jack Parsons, L. Ron Hubbard, Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley, okay, he's just basically a Satanist, occultist, whatever. His own words describe him as being the evilest man in the world. He says to take young boys and be as vile as you can sexually with them. And he means young, under the age of 10. And so that's actually come out of his mouth. He's like, you need to rape children in order to take their energy. That's what he said. I didn't say that. So he was roommates with L. Ron Hubbard, and we know who L. Ron Hubbard is. He's responsible for people like John Travolta running around being straight. John Travolta, who is not straight in any way because he got all the young boys quitting on my friend's show. My friend, it was so funny. back in the day, John's like, John Travolta's not gay. I'm like, he's totally gay. He's not gay. Yes, he is. So we're arguing. So my friend, Claude, that's all I'm going to say, she had to hire the crew for several of the movies. That's what she does. She's worked on every movie. Mad Men being her greatest creation for the sets and things like this. So anyway, she's working and she's telling us a behind the scenes story of all, yes, I know, oh my God, he's gay, right? Telling us a behind the scenes story about how she has to stop Travolta from hanging out with the young male crew at night because they quit. So she had to keep hiring people, rehiring people because he was Mr. Handsy Man with these young men. Like, it's one thing to be gay, but don't be handsy man. No woman likes it, no man likes it. You know what I mean? John Travolta's a mess, just like Tom. Yeah, well, they're mind controlled. Now, before I start Bob Saget, I have to go all the way back to when Jason was 3 and Keithy was in kindergarten. I was doing a game show. No, that's true. That came off of somebody who worked on the set. Like, and then poor John's face was like, I go, well, you didn't think the man could fucking dance like that if he wasn't gay. I mean, let's just be serious here. There's no straight man dancing like that. I know that's like a stereotype, but let's be serious. I mean, his dancing's fantastic. You know who his choreographer was? Stallone choreographed him. Stallone choreographed John Travolta for his Saturday Night Fever dancing. Remember the white patent leather shoes in the suit? Yep. Well, of course, Tom Cruise is. Kevin Spacey, yeah. Well, Kevin Spacey, his witnesses against his rapey allegations have died. Oh, I just missed that. Wait, Patrick Swayze wasn't gay. I hope not. I haven't picked that up yet. Okay. Whether your brother or whether your mother or whether you're feeling around. Exactly. But anyway, poor Claude, she had to keep hiring the crew over and over and over again because Grabby Hands was out grabbing them at night. Mr. Feelygood was like, oh, look at that hot guy, which I don't blame him. But, you know, nobody wants to be grabbed all the time. Anyway, so I was doing a show with Alan Thicke, Canadian Alan Thicke, okay? I was actually doing a show with my friend Courtney and her husband, and we were competing in a game show. Grabby Hands. We were competing in a game show, and the game show with Alan Thicke was who knows their best friend's best, right? So I literally, yes, Sylvester Stallone was the choreographer for John Travolta. That's true. So yeah, that brings question into Stallone's self. But I mean, you know, Stallone's an athlete, so maybe it came from that perspective. I don't know. Anyway, no, I was talking about John Travolta being gay, but Alan Thicke. So I was on the stage and my friend Courtney and Al, they were married. And so I was the best friend. So did I know my best friends well? And then there were other, like 4 other groups of best friends. We were at Sony's and we were locked in a trailer. Okay. We were locked in a trailer. We couldn't talk. And I'm like, okay, I don't like whatever. Anyway, so our team, I won. I knew my best friends the most. So we won the prize. And I don't even know what the prize was. It probably was $100. But Alan Thicke was the host. So you knew that his life was going down, right? So he was the host. So Alan Thicke comes out and I could not read his energy. Here's what he looked like. And I told John back then, because I just brought it up again this morning. I said, do you remember when I told you about Alan Thicke? I think he was literally MK Ultra'd at the time. So he was a handsome man. He came out on stage. There was no personality to him. I cannot explain it. It was like he was a human being. Yeah, Patrick's mother was a trained dancer. One of my friend Maria worked with his mother and with them. Maria Elena, the one that I talked about that passed away. And Patrick Swayze's house is down the street, his ranch that he used to own. He does not own it now. Well, obviously, I don't know. The family doesn't own it. Anyway, we drove by it every day. It's in Shadow Hills. But anyway, Alan Thicke was like he was caught in a stone encasing. Okay, so just imagine a rock, like a rock out on the side of the road. And there's a person in the rock, but they got to come through the rock, but you can't hear them. So they can only move as the rock moves, right? So, meaning he was encased, like stone cold drunk is what I thought, but he wasn't drunk. So I thought he was medicated on something, but now I realize it's MK Ultra. That's what I realized. So he was so blank that it was uncomfortable to me. No, I think he was MK Ultra'd. That's what I'm saying. He was so blank that I got pissed off because when you, okay, so there's certain people that block energy. There's people who want their secrets hidden, whatever they're doing. They might not be doing anything you care about, but they don't want anyone to know about them. But you can read that, okay? You can read that they're standoffish because they don't want you to know their secrets. Alan Thicke was different. He couldn't express, like he was like robotic and stone-faced. And it bothered me so much. It bothered me so much back then. Yeah, I didn't see his legs. I didn't see his legs. Marina went out with him. She went out with him. Oh, no, he was so awfully MK Ultra, Monarch Mind Control. So it's when, yeah, no, but not even poker face. I can read through energy unless you're doing something that you shouldn't, be doing, right? But it wasn't that. It was so cold. And people like that, I'm like, I don't like your ass when you're like that. So I don't know. He seemed fine on TV. MK Ultra is mind control. Yeah, it's some kind of hypnotic trance. Like I was like, I don't understand. There was no soul. I can usually feel the texture of a person, whether they're a secretive Scorpio or, a kinky Virgo doesn't want me to know they got porn on their phone or whatever. I can usually feel the texture, like the scent, the taste, the texture. I could not feel this with him, and it made me insane. The only other time I've had that happen is at Hollywood meetings with these big, tall, handsome men that were already agents and in the tribe of whatever indecent things they were doing. And I'm talking more illegal, not just what people might consider indecent. And one time I had to do this party with a bunch of people from a fast food company, all the executives. I was hired to read them. And the crew, there was a commercial crew that was filming the fast food in the back of the studio, whatever. Some of those employees definitely had the same effect. And it was completely, and it was more on the darker side. So they don't want you to know. I think it's a pedophilia thing. I think that. I used to think they were just maybe, in the beginning when I came to Hollywood, I used to think people like that didn't want me to know, like they had wives and then they were step out on the side. I thought it was stuff like that, or they were having affairs with the secretary, stuff like this. But then I realized people doing that don't block you like that. Like they might not want you to pick up on that, but this is like blocked, like a wall drops and you're just like hit the wall with your hand. Yeah, it's deviant stuff, and it's more on the dark magic, and they stare at you in a way, and it was very, I just remember like, don't do that, because you're not going to get me. I'll look you in the fucking eye. You're not going to scare me. I don't care what you do. But anyway, it was so interesting now looking back on it. Robin Thicke I thought of this morning with Bob Saget. So I did the show with Bob Saget, again, with Dr. Drew, at Dr. Drew's with his wife. And I think Rebecca was with me, and there might have been some other people. Anyway, he was talking about something. I did not know who was going to be on the show, so I did not know Bob Saget was. I believe the other psychics did. So I was just remember thinking, he's married to a young woman, too much younger for him. I remember thinking that pissed me off. And it did. Like, I'm like, another fucking man going with somebody way, way younger than him. I'm not one to talk because my marriage is that. But, I was like, whatever. And then I just remember he had kind of, he didn't have he was friendly and personable enough, but he had the kind of effect that was immature and surface. So like a comedian throwing jokes out all the time. Okay. So not in depth, but again, he doesn't have to be in depth in public. Yeah, I don't do younger. Yeah. Well, I was one of those younger women. I was flattered by the attention of older men, and I have Saturn in the 8th. So like, there's always some kind of an age difference, but I just remember that he seemed immature to me for his age. So it had to be like, it's 2018, or maybe it was like the early part of 2019. I did the show with him. So I will say 2018. Anyway, I just remember seeing his wife on a bicycle, and I remember describing the neighborhood, and he was going to get her a house. That's all I can remember from it. He was nice enough. He was pleasant. He didn't give me a creeped out feeling, but I can tell you he was murdered. I'm telling you that right now. I'm saying murder. Sorry, I came right to my mind this morning. So this was a payoff for something, and I don't know what they're going to say. My first instinct is they were going to say AOC was running around Florida without her on. And so then she came down with the 19, the crotch 19. So my first instinct was now they're going to blame her for his death somehow in the, yeah, I felt he got murdered, honestly. That's just murder is what I'm going to say. Take that as you will. I don't know how that happens. I don't know if they injected him with something. I don't know if they put something in his soup. I do say everybody is murdered. That's my first thought. A lot of them are murdered. They're in a fucking gang banging cult. Not like gang banging sex. There's like gang bangers in Los Angeles, like MS-13 and whatever, Violent Boys and whatever. If they cross the line, they get murdered. That's a fact. These people are in a club like that in a different way. So instead of trafficking drugs in and out of the country, trafficking humans in and out of the country, they're in a cult club in order to ascend in their careers. That's why very talented people, you won't see them. So yes, I really feel like they're being murdered. I'm telling you that. And you should know this by Jeffrey Epstein being locked up in the most secure jail, apparently, in New York City or in upstate New York or wherever the hell it is. And both the cameras broke down and the guard fell asleep and he hung himself. Shut up. Shut up. They take them out one at a time. That's just what happens. That's what and I don't know who does it, but I don't believe that Bob Saget's death time frame of his own time was right now. Now, Betty White, again, if you're going to inject something in someone's body, like if you're going to give someone morphine and they overdose, that's also murder, even if you tell me morphine is good for me. So yeah, I do think a lot of people are murdered. My experience, I came across 3. Now, I'll give you the difference. Somebody like Corey Hames, whose body we came across driving over Barham as they pulled the body out onto the street. I happened to come across that body on the day that he died, right? I was literally driving by the sidewalk, pulled over, and they're pulling out Corey Hames' body. How was he murdered? Let's look at this a bit differently. It's a different kind of murdered. He was encouraged to be a drug addict by the experiences that he had, also Canadian. Canadians flock like crazy to California because it's so cold where we're from. But anyway, Corey Haim became a massive drug addict because he couldn't handle what he did to get where he was. So that is a different kind of murder. It's kind of, it's degrading a person's soul so that they feel nothing and they degrade themselves and then they end up, you know, dying of whatever they die of, whatever kind of, yes, he was sexually abused. That's what I'm saying. But, you know, you have a lot of heroin addicts and you have a lot of fucking people on their faces when they're in Hollywood and they're raped in every way possible. Their ideas are stolen. Their personalities are stolen. Their wives and husbands are stolen. They are threatened. They are tied down. You can ask Esther this. Their characters are stolen by people who say, we'll get you a job and then steal your fucking character and then try to sue you for using your creation. What the hell is that? That didn't make you do drugs. You work your whole life to create something like my friend Leslie, and they took it like Esther, and they took Esther. Esther got Esther back with the help, legal help, but it took several years. That kind of shit is what Corey Hames died from. He died from what he did to get where he was. So it's kind of a self-murder without it. Like if you take drugs and you degrade your body and then you die, that's like kind of, I don't know how to call it, but recklessness, okay? Isaac Cappy was straight out murdered. Isaac Cappy had voices and he jumped off that bridge. He didn't do it. He did, but he was murdered. I can't even explain it. I saw it. I did the video on it. So that's exactly what happened. Now, the murder of Mark Salas, the Glee kid, the kid from Glee, whose body we walked upon. We went to take pictures and we went down in Angela's Crest and came upon the body as the coroner is pulling up to fucking cover the body, okay? Mark Salas was murdered. He did not go out there and kill himself. That's not what happened. He was strung up because, and I'm going to bring this up, he was strung up from a tree because he was to turn evidence about the kitty PORN that he had on his computer that allegedly his girlfriend found on his computer in his mother's house, I believe. Okay. Anyway, so I don't know what Bob Saget actually died of, because I do know from having a stepson and a son that died in Los Angeles, it takes at least 6 weeks to get the coroner's report back. Even if somebody got shot in the face, they do not run all of those tests. It takes 6 to 8 weeks, if not longer, to get that information. They do a very basic screen when the body goes into the coroner's office, but it's not being released. I mean, maybe you can have a lot of money and it is, but I haven't even heard that. So, whatever. Anyway, what the hell was I saying? Mark Salas was getting, speaking of, what's his name? Charlie Sheen and Corey Haim, rapey there. But speaking of Charlie Sheen, Mark Salas was apparently going to turn the names over off his computer to the clients of the Kitty PORN that he had. And one of them was that Mr. 2.5 Men guy, Charlie Sheen. Why do you think Angus Young, is that the name of the kid on the show, turned around and said how evil that show was and you needed to get Christ? Now, granted, he went off on a tangent over there like a crazy person, but he was so traumatized from whatever he saw on that show that he basically told everybody to turn their back on the TV industry and go like that. So Mark Salas was murdered. He did not commit suicide. I don't care what they say. He was actually hung up there because in 4 days after he died, he was going, even if he had to go to prison to turn those names over. So he was murdered. This suicide thing is ridiculous. Let's see. The autopsy said he did not die from drugs or foul play. Which one? Who? Tell me. Bob Saget? Are you talking about Bob Saget? They can't have completed a full autopsy yet. They wouldn't have that information back. They can't do it. Oh, wait, he's in Florida, but they still can't do it. Saget. Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they say. I feel like he was murdered. I'm telling you psychically, I feel like someone helped him out of his body in this life. So that's what I'm going to say. Do you remember Gary? Not Gary. Oh my God. What the hell is his name? He's born on John's birthday in April 3rd. Comedian. Now help me with his name. Always on Johnny Carson. He did the last show I did. I can't even remember the name of it. When his career was tanking. What the hell is his name? He lived in Glendale. He had like 5 kids. What was his name? Oh my God. Ray Combs. There you go. Comedian Ray Combs. Well, Mr. Ray Combs. I'm not going to speak ill of the dead. Anyway, he loved the little transgender stripper friend of mine. She was transgendered. He loved her. He dated an actual friend of mine, or, while he was married. So he was a bit of a sex addict. He was a nice man when I met him, but I couldn't get those images out of my head because he didn't recognize me from the strip clubs, but I recognized him. So it was bad. Bad. Angus Young, thank you. Yes, what's wrong? No, the kid on the show, he quit the show because he said it was evil. Yeah, he did Family Feud. He was April 3rd. He's 10 years younger, so he would be turning 66 this year on April 3rd. Anyway, he died young, and I enjoyed doing it. What was it? Love Psychic. Merle Heater Productions, Love Psychic. Anyway, so he was the host of that show. So he was in a massive car accident that year, tweaked his back and everything, or maybe the year before. Anyway, he had a house in Glendale, and the reason he went supposedly to the mental hospital, the Glendale hospital, but the mental ward in the hospital, was because he was banging his head in the jacuzzi, and he was banging it and I wondered, why was he doing that? Like, I just remember what was happening with that. So I wonder if his controlling of his brain was breaking down, because they do blackmail these people. Oh, Robin Williams. Yeah, Robin Williams, that was suicide. He did not die of a natural cause, Robin Williams. I saw him with a belt. He showed me a belt. And I saw Robin Williams on the day that he died. He was having shit thrown at him on the Astral. And by the way, I'll get back to my Ray Combs story. There is a fantastic clip. Google it. I don't know where to Google it. Somebody sent it to me and it was on TikTok. But it's Robin Williams. I'm assuming, yes, the spider with Robin Williams. And I went to the comedy club with Barb and Arlene that night. And the guy came out with a spider comedy. And I was like, oh my God. Anyway, Robin Williams dressed as Mork. So I'm assuming it's late 80s, early 90s. I don't remember the date on the thing. Anyway, in that time, he was going to commit suicide because I'll tell you about that story in a second. But anyway, he's talking about Bill Gates, right? I'm a triple Leo. It's not obvious. I always say it. Triple Leo here. Sorry. 29-degree Leo rising, the same as Trump's. Don't hate. It's true. 29, 43 seconds. Making me Virgo rising, really. Nanu Nanu. Yes. Sorry, it just is the way it fucking is. But yes, all Leo. Exactly. Loaded 12th house, 3 Cancer planets in the 12th, and Pluto and Uranus in Virgo in the first. So that's my mouth. See? Virgo shit. We don't take hostages. Anyway, Robin Williams is talking about Bill Gates, and he's saying back then, you want to take over the world. And something, and then he does a whole comedy skit on it saying, you want to do Monopoly, you want to do this, and then he's answering as Bill Gates, and he's like, no, I want to take over the world and I want to do this. It's very interesting, very perceptive. And I'm just judging by the clothing. It was probably in the late 80s or 90s. You have to Google it. Why would they kill Bob? Because Bob was Illuminati. That's why they would kill him. They would kill him because they would kill him. Why they kill why does anybody, is there really a reason to kill somebody? I mean, like, just think about it. Why do gangbangers go, you watch Breaking Bad, they're just killing people for the fun of it. I mean, go watch Breaking Bad. Then turn Breaking Bad drug dealers into, yeah, go walk Champers. Go walk. Yes, yeah, it is a, but see, how did he get that dementia in his head? How did he get the dementia? Was it because he was brainwashed? Was it the cocaine he did? It could be the cocaine he did too. He did a lot of cocaine. I don't know who that Tim person is. Anyway, yeah, ritual killings. I'm sorry, they do it. That's what they do. But anyway, well, Full House. Yeah, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. Anyway, getting back to Ray Combs. At the time that Ray Combs was taken, he lived a few streets over, and he used to visit a friend of mine at her business, and he dated one of the coworkers there. This I know. This personal story. I know this. But anyway, Ray Combs in his house apparently was banging his head out on the wall in the jacuzzi. This is what they said. I don't really know what he was doing because I didn't go to the house. But anyway, they left him in a suicide watch in Glendale Adventist Hospital, suicide watch. So then he died of hanging himself in the suicide watch. So what was he going to say? What was he going to say? What was he going to do? That's my story. Yes, Family Feud. He did a show with me called Love Psychic, and he was the host. And I just remember reading his chart. I was sitting in the studio with no one there, like, beforehand. And I remember just like, because he's April 3rd, so he's 10 years before 10 years younger than John. So he would be 66. John will be 76. So that's how I remember it. And I can't remember his rising sign. I can't remember any of that. And I knew him from the strip club, but he did not recognize me with my clothes on. That's funny. But anyway, he used to go visit a friend of mine in the club, and she but had been born a male. So that's all I can tell you. And that I did know, okay? 40 when he died, yeah. Yeah, I have pictures with him. He was nice to me. I mean, he did not know who I was. I didn't let on who I was. And if he did know who I was, he didn't let on that he knew who I was. But, I had clothes on anyway. And I looked different. I just had my Jason and, all of that. So I was like, I had brown hair. It was up in a ponytail. And I kind of had mom body. And, I wasn't like naked in a G-string with my boobs out, walking around, which is how we walked around. So, but he was not interested in me. He was interested in another girl who was born a male, but was now a female, who did a couple of Inside Edition interviews at the time. I want to say her name was Jasmine. I do want to say that. We weren't best friends or anything, but we worked together. Anyway, I know, right? So, I don't know. You guys want to find good celebrities. I'm not judging it. I'm just telling you stories. I'm just fucking telling you stories. I'm not going to make a judge or they're good celebrities. Why do you want to know if they're good? You should meet them and know them yourself, Just think of POWs in the war and the kind of brain control that they're under, right? So there you go. I mean, please, someone with good vibes, I'm wishing you, let's see. Blessings tomorrow, doctor's appointment. And you're thinking of, I wasn't thinking of Jamie Lee Curtis, but that's not what I was thinking of. So that's funny. Anyway, can you tell us about Leo Moon? What can I tell you? It's Leo Moon. Anyway, the moon is your expression outwardly. But when I'm looking at Bob Saget's energy, I don't feel comfortable with how he died. So there's something that's missing from that story, period. And I would say I would honestly say, and this is the first thing that came out of my head when I heard that Bob Saget died, because Sue texted me this morning, and she's like, "Do you remember?" And I'm like, "Yes, I remember." But anyway, the first thing that came out of my head is the sins of the father. So this is passed on generational stuff, and that goes the same for Alan Thicke's kid, whatever that kid is. That kid that danced with Miley in the black and white pinstripe suit with Miley. Miley gone off the rails with her. Look at me, I'm Miley. Look at my vagina. That whatever she's doing. So I don't know about Mr. Rogers. I do know that little bitch Gates tries to dress like little little Mr. Rogers. So it's little Billy Rogers. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that. But anyway, don't know about Norm Macdonald. Can't get a feel of that. I don't like people's faces. When a psychic looks at somebody's faces, it's not anything about the physicality of the face. It's the energy that resonates through the face. So the person could be utterly beautiful like Naomi Campbell, who I find if I were to come back looking as a person, I would love to look like her legs, the way she looks, not an ounce of cellulite on the woman. She can walk around naked, gorgeous, 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 but I do not like her face. So when I look at her, excuse me, I see something that that just doesn't, it's like, no. 45 individual, wait, said there, I'm sure there are. I saw Epstein's body jump demons. Epstein was a demon. I saw him jump. Understand, when they're really, really young, they're traumatized. And once the body's open through childhood sexual abuse, even in a normal family that isn't Illuminati, whatever, when you're sexualized and abused as a child, your body opens up. Therefore, it opens the energy, and you can open up to have other things drive the bus. And so when I think of Epstein, he jumped bodies. I saw it. Epstein's cellmate saw the energy come out of Epstein and go elsewhere. That guy, that beefy guy in the jail cell, whoever um yeah, well, Naomi was born a male. Great. I want those legs. I don't care what she was born. I'm just telling you, she doesn't have cellulite. Okay. That's enemy number one for most women. I mean, whatever. In Trudeau's face, I see the tricker. I see the trickster in his face. So I see that he tricks. He looks like a joker. He tricks. So there's certain people. George Clooney, I never thought was attractive. George Clooney. Okay, I can see him off balance. He's off balance in his thinking. He is better looking as a grown man, like as a young person. I didn't think he was like really good looking. That Summer Wells, that's something to do with the church. That's an offering to the church. So ferret face. Yeah, he's a ferret face. He's like a weasel face. Weasel. Like that. Yeah, most billionaires aren't even. I know, that's what I'm saying. When I see them, I'm like, and people like admire them, like, oh my God, that's a celebrity. Well, okay, so I mean, there are celebrities, and that's honest, and everybody who's excellent in their field probably has some element of celebrity. Okay, Gavin Newsom. What I see is another soy boy in Newsom who reminds me of Tredoofus. So with Newsom, I just see a pansy, a little bit more masculine than Tredoofus, but I see the same kind of, whatever. No, you shouldn't idolize anybody. You should idolize your good behavior and like love your family. Celebrities aren't going to tell you anything, and I'll tell you why. Look at Joy Behar and look at what's her name, Whoopi Goldberg. Look at the bullshit that comes out of their mouth. Look at the bullshit. Like, what is that? What is that? What is that bullshit? Seriously, what the hell is that? That's what I'm saying. I can see Naya, and I can see it. Like, I would like to look. I'm telling you, I think she's a beautiful woman, man, whatever she is. But I see something come through her, and I'm like, no, no thanks. The Olsen twins look like troll dolls. I don't know what happened to those two. I have no idea, but we have been tricked into thinking that we can do what they do, and we have been tricked into thinking that if we, try hard enough, we can do this. We can't do what they do. We cannot. Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, and Whoopi in particular, I mean, is she kidding me? I mean, she sits there like the Cheshire Cat, like she can't even move. She's as rotund as hell. I don't know what to say. And do you guys remember Ted Danson used to date her? What the hell was that? Like, what? And Joy Behar, like, What, she's just like a robot. Does she have an opinion of her? Like, I mean, Joy Bay, whatever your name is, have you looked at yourself in the mirror? What even makes you think you should be on camera? Because they promote camera on camera as being like, you have to be beautiful. Hollywood's beautiful. Why is that bitch on camera? What about her is beautiful? Not even her temperament is beautiful. Nothing she does is beautiful. She keeps speaking the same spew. So, does she have no eyebrows? Yeah, Scott Disick is a demon for sure. His face is demonic. That's it. I don't like that guy at all. Because she's Jewish. That doesn't make her beautiful. I mean, there are beautiful Jewish people, but she's not one of them. So put somebody on who is attractive. It's a visual medium. That's what we're taught. We're taught we're not good enough. We're taught that the celebrities are better looking than us. We're taught that you want to aspire to be like that. I don't want to be like her. She's a mental patient. No, Yes, of course you're going to be okay, honey. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. She's a mental patient. Joy Behart is mental. She's mental. Just mental. It's just like, what? Thank you for the super chat. No, but it's supposed to be a medium of visual. But then they put people like that on camera and you're like, then they get them as fat as they can be. And I've nothing against that. Don't miss my point here. But when you're talking about body acceptance, which they push all over the TV, what you're not acknowledging is how unhealthy a lot of these people are. They are very, well, Sharon Osbourne got thrown right off. Poor Sharon with that. I don't even think she said anything. She literally got thrown off that show. So that was an overthrow of her for some bullshit reason and some mamby-pamby bullshit. And I don't think she did anything wrong. She's a very strong woman and speaks her mind, okay? Regardless of anything, that woman speaks whatever she's thinking and you know what she's thinking. So I think she said something they said was racist or something. I can't even remember what it was, but they threw her off because they wanted her off. Okay, so understand that. They wanted her to do that and they were a bunch of whining ass bitches. Like, seriously, really? You're going to cause a fight. Even if she did it on purpose and said something, why is everything racist? Why is, if you say this, it's racist? What's that about? Got treated badly. Yeah, well, Roseanne Barr I met when I worked at Children of the Night. Tradoofus, yes. That's Anomaly's word for him, so I'm just following it through. Anyway, I met Roseanne Barr. She, as I said, she worked for, her kids were in the shelter, 2 of her daughters. It's when she was married to that guy, Ben. I was pregnant with Doodle, and I worked in the shelter. Roseanne was there, and she's actually shorter than me. I was wearing a little heel like this because I was pregnant and nauseous, but she's, so I would say she's probably 5'2". And she's not as fat as she appears. I can honestly say the camera made her fatter. So I always like, yeah, well, because she's pretty truthful. She also has admitted selling her soul when she was 12. And she's also admitted that she followed through on things and she's also tried to get out of it. So she knows a lot. And remember, they tried to fucking steal her show. It was called the Roseanne Show, and they tried to. She's 5'2". She's tiny. I was working with her. So let's say I'm 5'5". I'm actually a tad shorter than 5'6", but I'm 5'5", and I was wearing a booty, so it was like about like this. So then that might make me 5'6.5". She was shorter than I was. So maybe she's 5'3", whatever, but she was. She sold her soul. She said she sold her soul. She said she called the devil in when she was 12. She said she wanted to be a success, okay? That's what she said. I didn't say it. She said it. She said she wrote to the devil. She wrote down what she wanted. That's what she said. She also said, now remember back in the 80s, after her show got going, it could have been the 90s, Roseanne saying that she was a multiple personality, MK Ultra mind control. And she tried to say that her father sexually abused her. And then she said that it didn't happen. So that's kind of interesting in that. And this is coming from Roseanne Barr out of her own mouth. I remember that because I remember her on the talk shows talking about it. You remember it. When you're old enough, you remember stuff that they tried to tell you didn't happen. Like Al Gore going through the airport during the elections when they had the hanging chads and Bush, the little bitch kid, won. Al Gore got caught with a suitcase full of vials of blood. And everybody thought, well, that's weird. Roseanne says she's 5'4". I literally stood there. I'm going to say she's shorter than that. That is what I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. We all say we're some other height, okay? Tom Cruise says he's 5'7". He's not. So anyway, you remember Al Gore running through the airport in Atlanta with a briefcase that was full of vials of blood. Roseanne Barr has it, and with the hanging Chad thing, and he threw a hissy fit. That's what I remember it. You cannot find it on the internet. I remember it. He got stopped at the airport with a suitcase, which was a briefcase, not a suitcase, a briefcase full of blood vials. I remember that. I was alive for that. I heard it myself with my own ears. It is completely off the internet. It is not on the internet. So you remember that? What did he have all those vials for? What did he have those for? Like, is he a hemophiliac with little tiny vials, or was he drinking on the airplane? Hot toddy, you know, like that. I'm 5'2", 5'3". Okay. Anyway, Roseanne Barr has actually done a lot, but I remember when she said her father molested her, raped her, whatever, and she had multiple personalities. Yes, it was that. It was the chrome. It was the chrome on the car. You're exactly right with that. And it's been erased, but I remember it. You cannot erase what I remember. You can try to fucking gaslight me, Yahoo, Google search, whatever, but I remember it. And she said she had multiple personalities. Let's go back to MK Ultra. Let's go back to what was done in the Quebecois and Montreal hospitals, starting in the 50s and 60s, 70s, and 80s, to the patients that went in. Patients who were maybe bipolar, patients with hormonal disruptions. Remember, the people in that hospital were mind controlled. They were given LSD. They were done all kinds of things. They're being sued now for that. But they were lobotomized, all kinds of things experimented on, aka Nazi Germany, World War II. But that's actually what happened to them. And it's very unfortunate. Roseanne Barr is aware. She took back, thank you all for the super chats, you guys. She took back what she said about her father, but she did have like personality things. And when I worked with her, I don't remember her being too communicative or not. She was just doing her job, and her kids were in the shelter. Now, I worked at the shelter. She donated a whole year's worth of her salary while her girls were in that shelter, which was really kind of her. Like to pay for the shelter for a year. Oh, Palm Springs. Yes, go up to the top. There's snow. But her daughters were in the shelter, and it was a shelter for transient shelter for kids under the age of 18 who were working as prostitutes. That's all I'm going to say, but that's what was going on. That's the job that I was doing while I was pregnant with Doodle. So I was doing readings, and that's what I was doing. So her daughters were in that shelter, and she was married to that Ben guy, and I just remember them in the back, and the kids being excited when she'd come by and that kind of thing. And I just remember thinking she's not as heavy as she looks on camera. So the camera does really add 10, 20, 30, 50 pounds, whatever. Yeah. And their mom upset and not paying attention. Of course. Yeah. Well, the shelter kids, I mean, that shelter's now closed. Somebody I know has taken that shelter over, but I will wait for them to announce it publicly. Anyway, I worked at Children of the Night. That's how I found out about Eddie Murphy. That's how I found out about the yellow cab drivers in Los Angeles that would take the children from the shelter to their psychiatric appointments or their doctor's appointments, give them money for blowjobs on the way to the appointments, knowing that they were picking the kids up at an abused children's shelter. That actually happened. That happened quite a bit. Yeah. So, no, that really happened. Yeah. Exactly. No, it just men, whatever. Anyway, that really did happen. And I was like, my head was like, what? I used to take the kids. I was way pregnant with Keith. I took them horseback riding. I took them to Griffith Park. I took them all over the place. And so they threw me a nice big party and a big cake and everything, you know, for Keithy. So Keith had a fun, yeah, it's extremely sad, but that's what goes on. Predators find victims and they continue to victimize them. And if you're going to offer one of these kids money, they're going to take money. Why wouldn't they take money? So it's very interesting. Anyway, that was kind of that experience. But there were a lot of celebrities. There were police officers that did this. There were, you know, all kinds of things. And at the time, I remember finding it very odd that one of the boys in the shelter who had transgendered into a female, which again, they gave money, City of Los Angeles, if you were 16, possibly 14, but I'm going to just stick at 16. And in that shelter, you could get your hormones to change yourself into another gender. There was millions of dollars allotted for that. I don't know if it's millions, but whatever. There was tons of money allotted for that. So you could be a prostitute and turn yourself into whatever gender you wanted. I mostly saw it with the boys turning themselves into women, because I would come up to work wearing certain outfits and they would be wearing the same shoes. Granted, size 12, but the same shoes. And they were able to get their medicine through the shelter, through the city of Los Angeles. And that I do know. I was alive and my memory was intact for that one. So it's kind of interesting to know that. I mean, I guess it was they didn't want to take them off their hormones. And I remember finding out that the mayor of Mexico at the time, with Keith, so this is 94 going into 95, 1994 going into 95. I worked at the shelter through my pregnancy with Jason, and Jason was a little boy, and he came to work with me while I worked with the shelter kids when I would take them to the hairdresser, da 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 da. So they would come around, I would drive and run them on their errands, whatever it was we were doing. So that was my job. I drove a big van, which I had no business driving because I really have a trouble with distance on either side of big cars. But anyway, yeah, those kids were trafficked in through Mexico, sold. The mother sold one of the kids to a mayor in Mexico. Don't ask me which one. And the kid made it his way through to Los Angeles. I mean, they were sold. That's an actual thing. So that was they do prey on the vulnerable. But now that I'm thinking about it, so I was way pregnant with Doodle, with Keith, way pregnant, 8 months. And I had to take the kids. So the kids come off the street. So the kids have like weird hair, whatever. They're not looking right. Maybe they came from a flop house. And the kids in the flop house, the ones, the drug kids, not so much the prostitutes, although they would turn tricks. The ones that would hang out in the flop houses is the thieves, the ones that were more like the thieves, that would steal things. They would tell me that men in nice cars would pull up, right? Step out of their cars, come into the flop houses and steal kids. I mean, offer to pay kids. And then the kids would never be seen on the track again. They would never be seen. So, it was very, very interesting looking back on it. Well, I'm assuming her kids were living there because they were living there. So they were living there because it was a shelter for under the age of 18 kids that were prostitutes. So that should be self-explanatory. That's all I know. They were there living, and it's a shelter for kids that are prostitutes. So I guess, whatever. Anyway, I don't have a problem with people being prostitutes if it doesn't come from the degradation of them as children. They are victimized as children. So like if you're an adult and you haven't been a victim and you want to sleep with a guy for money, go to dinner with him, fuck him, whatever, make your money, that's all fine. But thinking back on it, so me and Jason was 2.5, 3. He would sit in the little car. They have cars for the shelter. He would sit in the little car beside me with his cute little shoes on, his little seatbelt, little car seat. And we would get there, and then the kids would get in the car, and we would take them to Christoph's. I already answered that question. It's a shelter for transient prostitutes that come in off the streets. That should be self-explanatory. Anyway, and Roseanne paid the money for the entire year, which was interesting, which was really good on her part because they were always looking for donations. So we took the kids down to Christoph's, the same hairdresser that Bill Clinton used to stop on the tarmac when he was president. Remember, he held up a plane, and I forget that whole story. Anyway, Christoph's was the hair salon that donated their hairdressing skills to runaway teenage prostitutes. So if the kids came in with green hair, red hair, shaved hair, fuck you on the back of their head lice, I don't know, whatever, they went to Christoph's. Now think about this for a second. You have an elite hairdresser that charges a shop that charges $400 a haircut. Taking in children, what a way to parade your clientele. We have Mary. She has green hair. She just came off the streets, and she is whatever color, race, skin, whatever. It seems like an interesting window shopping, right? I just thought about that. Bill's 200. Yeah, a haircut on the car. I think it was 400 if it was, I think so. So if you have to hook file your taxes, I don't even know what that means. Anyway, it was very interesting looking back on it now. Chester was murdered. He stood in front of me and said he was murdered. He did not kill himself. And I knew that enough. This is before Keith died, so my ability was not off in any way whatsoever. But it's very, very interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about it at the time because I would just walk the kids in, and I, as I said, was way pregnant. My little Jason came with me, and there you go, blackmail, video, child abuse. Exactly. So, but I'm just thinking about it. I was delivering runaway kids, transient kids, to a very high-end salon at the time to fix their hair, right? So just think about that for a second. So yeah, that was interesting. I know she's having a fun time. She ran wild all day. Did Michael Jackson fake his death? I know there's a lot of people that say that. No, I don't feel he did because I'll actually tell you that story, which I've told on here. But anyway, Jason and his little friends we're all having a sleepover in the living room. And I went by all of the friends and I said, Michael Jackson's going to die. Now, I heard this while I was jogging, climbing a hill in Burbank. I heard this in my head as loud as could be outside of myself. Michael Jackson's going to die. So I thought he would die on his 51st birthday. So the kids bet me $10 all the time, all the time, all the time. So the kids bet me $10 and there was like 10 kids in the house. And so when it was his birthday and he didn't die, they were like, pay up, pay up, pay up. But it was in his 51st year, not on the birthday. 51st year. You see? So Wendy Williams to me looks like she has some kind of programming in her head and they zap her and down she goes. So yeah, I know. She's so cute back there. Anyway, Michael Jackson, I believe, is dead. And I don't, and then I heard it. I heard that it was going to happen. So 6 months before he died, it was in the ethers for me to pick up. Sometimes they'll tell me stuff and I'll hear it. So it was definitely in the ethers for me to pick up. Well, they probably medicated him, but actually, I keep saying too much. I apologize. Actually, I think it might have been something else. The drugs, here's the thing. I did feel Michael dead, yes. Here's the thing. When it comes to drug addicts, see, this is what I try to teach my kids when they were younger. This is what I recognized as a teenager. If you do drugs or you drink and you have a bad habit of it, you can be used and tormented because of your weakness. You see, it's another way of blackmailing you. Oh, he died of a drug overdose. No one questions it. If he's shooting up heroin, no one questions it, right? If he does this, no one questions it. So it looks like you died from drugs, so they can kill you. You leave yourselves open to be murdered in a different way because you are a drug addict, and it's so easy. River Phoenix, I know people who were there the night that he died, and I really feel like he did drug overdose, but wait, her driver was shot with a dart. I don't know. I have no idea. There's so many murders that go on and people think it's all kinds of stuff. It's really bizarre. The other thing with Michael Jackson is I really feel, and I'm going to say this, I hate pedophiles, you know this, but I really feel like one of his personalities didn't know what the other personality was doing. So River Phoenix came from a cult. Remember, his parents were kind of free love and, whatever. Yes, River Phoenix took drugs, but he could have been given a hot shot, which is what I believe. So understand, a lot of people are given hot shots. The surgery, yeah, well, Madonna, yeah, I don't, be careful with your face, what you do. Do shit on your body that you can cover up. But Michael Jackson's face, I feel like they were morphing him into something and I feel like he was an experiment on some level. So I feel like that. Just remember, if you allow yourselves to be an alcoholic or a drug addict, the government wants you to do that. Okay. The government wants you they want you to do that. That's why kids in 7th grade can get drugs. It's where they hit them up. And kids are like, I'm adult now. I'm going to smoke this marijuana. It's a weed. I'm going to smoke it. They want you on drugs. If you are on drugs, weed, cigarettes, too much sugar, a bunch of soda. Why the hell are they selling soda at 7-Eleven this much? Like, you need that much sugar, 300 spoonfuls of sugar? You can have a fat ass by the time you're like 10 if you're not careful, right? So the reason that they do that, no, I believe Michael Jackson's dead. I heard it. Now, did they transfer his consciousness into another thing and make it a clone? That could be. But yeah, he was a burn victim as well. Horrific. But what I feel like with the drugs and the alcohol that they give to our kids, it's so fucking easy. It's so easy to blame it. Well, it was the drugs. They're a drug addict. You don't know what happens. They're on drugs. You don't know what happens to them. You don't know if a husband has a wife that drinks too much. What if he puts a pill in there? Chris Cornell definitely thought he committed suicide by the voices and the way that people were talking. Remember, they can hear us. They're in a different dimension. He definitely thought he committed suicide, and he was in shame. When I picked up on his energy again before my son died. My videos are a lot different after my son died because I can feel barely nothing, okay? I can feel nothing. I'm dead. I'm the walking dead at this point. I don't feel anything. I think you could punch me in the face and I might feel it, but I really don't feel it. Like I wouldn't feel it like I felt it before. But anyway, with Chris Cornell, when he looked up and realized that he didn't kill himself, then the shame went away. So he was crossed out of his body, ambushed, okay? Ambushed. He had no idea what happened to him. And they love to say that you're a fucking addict, you overdosed. You may be a fucking addict. That's true. You may be a shitty fucking addict, and that's perfectly fine. But you leave yourself open to be murdered. Prostitutes, when they go to work and they're high and they shoot up, they leave themselves open to abuse. Alcohol and drugs were set into society. Look in the Black communities. Look in the poorer communities. They have a 7-Eleven on every corner. They sell drugs out of, alcohol and shit. Where's the healthy food? Where's everything? Why are these people in more low poverty neighborhoods? And you wouldn't see it in Beverly Hills. So why are you? They're trying to fuck them up. They want to take them out. They do not want your kids. Tell your kids that. I tried to tell my kids that. I tried to tell my kids that drugs is what the government wants you to do. It's really typical. And they throw money at you as a dart to hook you. It is a golden handcuff. You are chained for life with the handcuff. That, am I preaching? Yeah, I am. But I'm sorry, it's my channel. I can do what I want. So if you don't like it, get off, get off, get off. But that's what they're doing. I'm telling you what the government's doing. So understand it. When they actually put it into those poverty neighborhoods, they want the kids, your kids, my kids, kids of color usually, to succumb to it so they cannot rise up, so they cannot think, so they cannot be. That's what they want to do. And it's horrific. Why would you allow that? Why would you allow that? Like the parents, but see, then the parents get used to feeding their kids whatever they put in fast food. That's a rant I'm going to go on again. That's what they do. You can't think properly if they're injecting your food with preservatives. You know, my kids were mad at me. I told you, Jason wanted to gain weight as a teenager. He ate McDonald's for an entire year. While I cooked healthy food, that kid would come home stuffing his face with McDonald's, hoping that he would gain weight so he could get really big. Because we're tall and lean. Not me, them. The men in the family. Anyway, he would do that. But I tried to feed my kids to feed their body, not for their pleasure, not for temporary whatever, but to feed their body so that their body, mind, and soul is in control. Excuse me. So it's a problem, and they want to take out. So if you don't have money, they want to trick you into fast food. That's why they take EBTs. They do not take EBT cards at a healthy food restaurant. Now I'm choking on what I'm saying. It's funny. Jane Fonda too. Jane Fonda. Yeah, she's pretty old, huh? They want to squash you. Fast food has never been food. You don't even know what's in that food. It's whatever it is. It's not food. It's wrong. It's what they do. Okay, now I have to cough again. Sorry. I think it's the ginger in my tea. I'm having something in ginger tea. Tea of life. Oh my God, I got Tulip's care package. I got it. Thank you so much for the care package for Tallulah. She got it. I got it. I got the tea. But has a cheap menu too. Well, it's not cheap if the food is poisoning. You can get $1 hamburger at AM PM. You really want to eat that? I don't know. Is it really food? Yeah, the chips are good, but grow your yeah, you have to take care of yourself. But the reason the government does anything is because they can make money from it. And if they're legalizing drugs and alcohol, it keeps so many people ruined from their potential. And I'm talking their potential. They do not want us to rise up with our potential. Yeah, I heard about the human nom noms in the McDonald's. I can't even, I can't. I just can't. They do all kinds of things like that. They do all kinds of things like that. And we fall prey to it. And it's like craziness. You know, it's crazy. I saw a woman. Oh my God. Okay. Not that I watch other people's groceries, but there was this woman, young woman, and she was buying Spam. And I was like, oh my God. I used to have such a fucking problem with people that ate Spam. She was buying Spam. Anyhow, the Spam that she bought like a bunch of it. And I'm thinking, who in her house is eating Spam? Does she even know what that is? I was like, oh my God, no. But anyway, getting back to the original, I know. I'm like, who eats Spam? Like, really, what is Spam? Do you even know what? I can't. It just, no. I'm just like, no. Oh, yeah, the dollar store and the beer. But see, this is what's going on. They want to distract us. So the problem with it is people like, okay, Bob Saget looked completely healthy. He's 65. Yes, he could drop dead. We could all drop dead. Little kids drop dead. Jason was in school with a friend that was playing basketball, 12-year-old dropped dead. And Keithy was running a race with a kid in the same school. That kid dropped dead. Okay. So both of them were age 12 and both of them had friends that died at age 12 randomly from a heart issue. They just dropped. But depression era, yes, they eat Spam, but this was a young woman getting it. It's just like, what? Anyway, the problem is I don't believe Bob Saget died of natural causes. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I just don't. It's just too, I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't. They're going to say he did, and I'm going to sound crazy, but you know, whatever. Go look up Spam. It's some kind of meat food. Ugh, I can't. I just can't. And people wonder what the issue is. If they get you fat, they get you on the pharmaceutical merry-go-round. They get you taking pills for your blood pressure, for your arthritis, for your diabetes, for your when your food comes back up. They get you for all of that, and you're in a loop, and you're giving them money and time and energy, and you're not fulfilling or living your life. Yeah. Oh, he was on the flight ledger. Of course he was. I already know I'm going to have to do a video. I don't want to offend his family, though. They're grieving, and it's horrible, regardless of whoever your parents are. You love your parents. You love your kids. Regardless. I don't know if he was using drugs. I mean, men do use drugs. People use drugs. I have no idea. I didn't notice that on him when I talked to him, but I wouldn't notice it unless you were really fucked up. You know, that's what I was saying. That's what I would say. So Spam, it's a comfort. Yeah, I don't know what Spam is. Uh, it's not a comfort food. It's traumatic. It's traumatic. It's a traumatic food. Okay, it's whatever. I don't know if he looked well or not. I have no idea. When I saw him, he looked fine. Mad cow will kill half the population. Meat is bad. I don't know if meat is bad or meat is good. I don't subscribe to either of that. But what I do subscribe to is that what is being pushed in our society, half of it, okay, just keep this in mind. You cannot walk into a store without this on, right? You got to cover this up or you're a criminal. But if you are 400 pounds, you can go into a store and buy something that's probably going to give you a stroke. And the government says they're concerned for our health. Why are they not concerned for that person's health? I'm just asking. I'm just really asking that. What do you eat in a day? I eat yogurt, not sugar yogurt. I eat, that's a good question. I wake up, I go running. I drink a lot of coffee. No, I don't drink coffee. I drink espresso, 3 shots. That's me. I drink tea. I drink whatever, you know, herbal tea, this tea of life here. And then I do run because it hits your bones like this. Okay, so it makes the bones grow stronger so you don't, so you don't get arthritis. So then I eat yogurt. I eat the 2% Greek yogurt with 20 grams of protein. I drink a protein drink that's organic, all natural, no whatever, with 30 grams of protein. I eat scrambled eggs and a piece of toast. I put the scrambled eggs on the toast, and that's like the jam. I eat that, and I usually eat like a chicken salad, or I eat, yes, running helps with bones because it tears the tissue down and builds it up. So it builds up your bone strength so you don't have osteoarthritis. So I eat chicken salad, or I eat this yummy lemon chicken, or I don't eat pasta. I don't eat cereal. I don't eat a lot of things actually. I would like to eat a lot of things, but I don't. I don't eat a Big Mac. I don't do that. So if I'm hungry, like after this, if I've eaten enough for today, my snack is always popcorn. I don't eat a lot of fruit anymore, but pineapple. I eat pineapple for sweet, and then I will eat more scrambled eggs. So I eat 3 egg yolks a day. Yep, I eat the egg yolks, and then I eat egg whites after that. So if I want more eggs, I eat egg. I lift weights. I'm just getting back into it. Running is the best. Running uphill will sculpt your legs like nobody's business. No sweetener, no sugar. I've never put sugar. No, because that's 50 extra calories. I learned that as a kid. I don't swim because my hair will turn green. We don't want that. Salmon, absolutely chicken. And I'm light on both of them. I mostly, if I didn't eat dairy, probably wouldn't get enough, whatever. I don't know what the least GMO fruit is. I'm confused. Apple is my favorite fruit, but whatever. I don't eat the scones. I would like to. But no, I always have non-fat milk. I always have non-fat milk. Thank you for that. Thank you for the super chat. Say eggs are very bad for you. Yeah, eggs are the only protein I've ever gotten in my life because I'm not really a meat eater. I do eat salmon. I do eat halibut, but I don't eat a lot of it. So I love watermelon too. But eggs are actually good for the B12 and they put your brain back together. When I had my nervous breakdowns, my issues, uh, after Keith was born, I had postpartum and then Jimmy died. So I had depression and the voices in my head telling me to kill myself, the demons. If I'd have killed myself, they would have thought I killed myself, but it was actually the demons coming in on my depression. Nobody talks about that. No one talks about that. The voices were literally outside of myself saying, you need to kill yourself. You can be with Jimmy. You can help him over there. You can do that. And I went through it after Keith died too, but I knew it was them tricking me because I was depressed and sad. So, yeah, I don't care what the medical medium says. The thing that grounded my anxiety and panic attacks were eggs. And eggs have a lot of protein in them, and eggs have B12. So I eat eggs for my health. And medical medium can say whatever he wants. I know how my body works. So I know what's good for me and I know how my body works. And if you want to be, we'll see how healthy the medical medium is when he's my age. Maybe he's my age. So whatever. Anyway, I eat for my body. What my body needs to eat is what I eat. That's what I eat. So there you go. Yeah, they are like baby pariahs. I eat the eggs, intuitive eat. I eat for my body. Yogurt is great. Yogurt's really helped me. And I know they tell you no dairy, it's inflammatory. It's not inflammatory for my body. Good 2 eggs a day, good for you. Um, you must remember that like the body is different. Bone broth is very good. I don't do well with soups and I don't do well with salt. So, I'm not a person who, like, if it's salty, I can't do it. So, yeah, I eat a lot of dairy and that's what I eat. I eat the low fat Greek yogurt, 2% with no sugar or minimal sugar, minimal carbs. And I'll eat a piece of bread and I'll eat things like chicken cacciatore, but with vegetables and mushrooms. I'll put a lot of mushrooms on things. Oh, you're Pluto's in Leo. You're the same age as everybody I hang around with, Pluto and Leo. Um, yeah, so I eat protein. Yeah, that's what I do. I do all kinds of things like that. I try very hard to stay like low calories. So I do eat popcorn because I like popcorn. So that salt is nasty. It's hard on my body. High protein does, but I do better when I eat that too. I eat the protein. I eat the protein salad. I like salad. I like chicken salads. In fact, I think I'm going to go get a chicken salad. So I like all of those things, but yeah, I'm 55. So here I am at 55, and that's what I eat. And I never put sugar in my tea or my coffee ever. I learned how not to eat it. They tell you to put sugar in it, but that's just to make you sick. Like, I know sugar tastes good. I love marmalade. I love honey. I don't eat honey. It's high in sugar. I mean, it's high in your body. You have the same reaction. I love Skinny Pop, but I just don't eat it. I never did eat it. I never did. I didn't drink a lot of soda. Maybe in my early 20s, I drank a lot of Diet Pepsi, but that's it. And I learned, don't put the sugar in it. Because if you have 3 coffees a day with sugar, you're probably putting an extra 200 calories in your body of sugar. I don't eat the sweeteners because they're chemical. I don't do that. I do drink milk I don't drink non-fat. I do drink non-fat milk when I go through drive-throughs, but at home I have a little bit of fat in the milk. And other than that, I drink herbal tea, water, espresso, coffee, not a lot of coffee, more espresso, shots. I like the shots. And that's what I do. And if I eat fruit, I eat a lot of apples, and I will eat a peanut butter sandwich. I'm not opposed to that. Yeah, I don't do that. And that's what I do. Yeah, I don't use sugar. I do like sugar. I do like sugar. Don't get me wrong there. Green tea. I will have hot chocolate if I want something, but I make sure that it's dark chocolate. No, I don't bloat. I don't think I bloat. Maybe you could tell me, do I bloat? Let's see. Am I bloated? Bloaty. No, not bloated. I mean, I don't bloat, I don't think. Now, if I stuff my face, then yeah, I don't think I'm bloated. But yeah, I don't bloat. I can bloat. Like, I love ice cream. I love ice cream. So that's my weakness. I love peanut butter. Yeah, I don't bloat. Where I get indigestion is if I actually like finish a full meal, like eat the whole meal and then have dessert. That's a problem. So I'm sure he's not, I'm sure he did something. He's Denzel Washington. So yeah, that's what I do. And I run miles a day. Like, I'm not a joker when it comes to that, but you get hungry when you run miles. So then I have to eat more popcorn when I'm hungry. So I do that to fill my stomach. If you eat like no butter, no nothing on your popcorn, just like air popcorn, and you drink water, it's a fiber and it fills you up and it's not bad for you. It's an okay snack. I bloat after listening to my husband. So why do we want to know my cup size? I'm a triple D. The reason I'm a triple D is because I have no back and no little arms, and then my boobs are big, but actually your cup size is your back size. So I'm extremely petite. That's not my problem. It's just genetic. So everything is triple unless, whatever. I wear sports bras though. I'm not even wearing a cup size bra because I wear sports bras. So I try to squish into the tightest, smallest things so nothing falls down. That's what that's what it is. Yeah, triple D. Yeah, you know what it is? It's your back size though. Some people can be a triple D and have like a big back size. I don't. I'm like petite from behind. No muscle up here. I'm trying to build my arms back because I've been so lazy with that. But anyway, yeah, my pant size is probably 3. That's like normal. So that's what I am. When I was pregnant, I was a pant size 10. Okay. So I was a normal size 10 pregnant. But normally I'm a 3. I can't be bothered with an underwire after breastfeeding. Yeah, no underwire. I don't do underwires. I do everything. Can we get rid of cellulite with exercise? Not in my experience. I still have cellulite. So not that I've ever been able to do it. Not that I've ever been able to do it. No. I mean, I've run up hills. I've done 15 miles each day on the weekend for fucking years. Up hills. Okay. 14.38 miles, like sweating. Okay. I've never gotten rid of cellulite. I had it as a little kid. It's genetic. It's estrogen. It's your gene pool. Because you're pregnant, cute. I was a G when I was pregnant. Horrific. I hated my boobs. Yeah, I've got stretch marks all over my body. I've got stretch marks. I mean, whatever. Okay, areola size, really? They're perfect. Who asked this question? Can I see, like, that has to be a guy. No, I haven't. I have not. I'm just about 5'6". Just about 5'6". And my weight can go anywhere from 145 down to 127. I'm literally 128 right now, but it can be 145. Last year I was 145. After Keith died, I was 130 or whatever. So that's what I was. So I can definitely go up in size. I think we all can. I can walk around normal, whatever. So I can go anywhere from that. That's because barbell training. I was in a gym for 40 years. I worked out in a gym for 40 years. I was trained in a gym by people that were bodybuilders when I was younger and, had big legs, big legs. I could do 250 pounds squatting. I did all kinds of weights. And 3 years ago, 4 years ago, my gym closed. I stopped going, just running. But now I'm building my arms back, but I'm doing it in my house, whatever. So there's that. But anyway, yeah, Pamela Anderson, she's cute. She's tiny. I look 110. That's funny. Cardi B seems clone to me, but she may be just brainwashed, mind controlled. Yes, Peter Bogdanovich. Oh my God. He was my astrologer mentor, client. So I forgot about Peter Bogdanovich. I found out, yeah, Pamela Anderson's very pretty and she's Canadian. But I found out about Peter through Brian, who told me, he's like, oh my God. And because I was mentioning Peter Bogdanovich, of course, dated Dorothy Stratton and, took her away from her crazy fucking Aries husband who murdered her ass with a shotgun and tied her up and raped her. Demons. Okay, so anyway, he was possessed by demons and that was like whatever. Anyway, Bogdanovich married her sister, her younger sister, which I found interesting. That was probably, you remember Dorothy Stratton, right? You remember. Oh, we have trolls on here. Yeah, that's right. You're just jealous because I can talk for a long time and people are listening. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. I actually think Biden has, the centerfold, Dorothy Stratton. She was a Pisces. She was actually quite lovely. Dairy Queen in Toronto. Anyway, she's Vancouver and she's quite lovely, but she was murdered in a very gratuitous, graphic, ritualized way by her weirdo Aries husband. And she was seeing Peter at the time, so he probably got jealous. However, that's no excuse to do what he did. And then he married the sister and then he died, but I believe he was 83, Peter Bogdanovich. And I heard he was very nice. So there you go. Yeah. Yeah, no, Peter was into astrology. Brian was his astrologer. Brian, that I met when I first came to California, and is my mentor, astrology-wise, one of the best astrologers. There's nobody to compare with. I am a smidgen as good as him. I am this much as good as him. I'm not even as good as him, and I was taught by the best. Anyway, he was his astrologer, so he's an astrologer for a lot of people. Actually, still, I know, get out, trolls, right? Suck my dick. That's my thing. It depends what astrology app. Again, for my professional business, I use Kepler. A lot of people use Solar Fire, although I find the math can be off on Solar Fire, but I'm not really a good mathematician. On my iPhone, I use, now I just forgot the name of it. Oh my God, AstroGold, because they don't have Kepler for Mac phones, for iPhones. But on my home computer, I have both a Mac and a PC. I do my stuff on the PC. So that's what I do. So I use Kepler Astrology. Brian's last name, I'll have to ask him if I can say it. But he's not on social media. But if I ask him and you guys want, I will leave it in the link so you can call him and find him. But I'm going to ask his permission first. If he wants me to do that, and then if he wants me to do it, because he's not on social media, really, might be on Facebook. It's last name is Evis on Facebook. I think he is on Facebook. So if you bombard him, there you go. Anyway, that's where that is. So, but very, very good astrologer. Like, I am so lucky because I owe my career to him, really, in perfecting it with my level of astrology, which, can you read a Vedic chart? I can, but I'm not a Vedic astrologer, so I'm not proficient at it. I'm Western astrologer. So yeah, there's that. Happy birthday, Angela. It's your birthday tomorrow. Cancer, Taurus, Virgo, double earth, and little Cancer water sign. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to be real. People hate it. My family hates it. My children hate it. You know how it is. Okay. Wait, who is 90? Who is 90 and drank the blood? You're talking about Betty White? Yeah, it's so funny. So I got in an argument with an alcoholic last night. I got in an argument with a fucking alcoholic. And they're like, well, what's your definition of an alcoholic? What's an alcoholic? I said, you're an alcoholic. That's what I said. Of course, they never admit it, right? Because they're always like, I go to work, I do this, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm like, you're a fucking alcoholic. Your mouth when you drink makes people want to kill you. You're a fucking alcoholic, right? So he says to me, so what do you call those people that drink the blood and, the blood of children? What do you call them? I said, I call them drug addicts and murderers. That's what I call them. It was hilarious. Trying to judge. He goes, well, I don't think it's the same thing. I'm like, I'm not comparing you to the Chrome people. I'm comparing you to fucking alcoholics. Yeah, it was the funniest conversation. I'm like, are you trying to distract me with murdering blood drinkers, bloodthirsty demons? Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm like, it's not even in the same conversation. Oh my God. Anyway, alcohol is a big look at, they made it prohibit. No, I wasn't talking about Keanu Reeves. California will be going into lockdowns again. I have said this. Angelina Jolie looks sick as shit. A narcissist functioning. I think maybe alcoholism breeds narcissism because they never admit they're alcoholics. It's the funniest fucking thing. They're like, I like Sidney Poitier. I don't know what he was or isn't. I don't know much about him. Really? Yeah, I know the drinking. I don't think having a drink is wrong or something, but I think it's a problem if you got to do it every day. It's a huge problem. Angelina kissed her brother. Well, see, that's part of the conditioning. And she carried around a vial of blood, too. And she talked about the sex and the rape and the stuff. So she's in on it. But Jon Voight is. Jon Voight did the movie Deliverance. You remember that? You remember the other movie he did, Midnight Cowboy with Dustin Hoffman? So fucking disturbing. And then there was one that De Niro did where they're all committing suicide in a hotel room that just made me... See, they like to promote that. They like this because they get you desensitized to all of that thing. Billy Bob Thornton, cracks me up, but his mother was an astrologer, you know that. And he married an astrologer, several of them or a couple of them. The Deer Hunter. No, The Deer Hunter's another movie. Maybe it was that movie, The Deer Hunter. I hated that movie. Christopher Walken playing Russian roulette. I was just like, oh my God. The feeling, the vibration of that movie was so upsetting to me. So upsetting. Look really sick between the drugs and the surgery. They look nuts. I know. They look nuts. Wendy Williams looks like she could be that with her no hips and long legs. Addicts are totally narcissistic. It's all about their addictions, and they're such cocksuckers when they talk. Oh my fucking God. Like people, now just look, this is just my take, and you know that I probably have a warped take on alcoholics or drug addicts. Yeah, Billy Gates hips. Sun in Leo, Moon in Taurus, and Aquarius rising. Boy, you're in for it this year. Uranus in Taurus, Leo being squared by Saturn in Uranus, by Saturn in Aquarius, and Saturn in Aquarius squaring Taurus and going through your first house. Yep, you're in for it. But anyway, when you I just have a thing. Everybody says, "Oh, well, they were they were on drugs." No, they were drunk. It was a drunk driving accident. Hi, Tracy. Thank you so much for that. Overly generous, Tracy. And thank you both for the super chats. Who is this? Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Aw, thank you, Justine. I hope I'm saying that, Justina, right. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you very much. Very generous, and thank you. Which I will switch topics in a second. But getting back to the addicts, the problem I have with the addiction is, as a society, we have accepted it. Oh, they're drunk. Oh, they're this. It's like, no, they shouldn't be in a car driving drunk. You have no right to do that. You should actually be shunned out of society for doing that. But we don't. We say, oh, it's an addiction, and pat them on the head. That's what they want you to do. They want everybody to have that addiction so that you can bring out your weakness and you can cause chaos in your life. I can't understand why people don't understand it. It's reverse world. And let me tell you what YouTube's doing. I thought Jane Fonda was 70. I think she's more like 80, honestly. My opinion on marijuana is smoke it if you want it. My opinion on heroin is, which I prefer opium to any drug. If you want to know the truth, I think opium is a good drug, but I don't think you should do it. Okay. So if I had my choice of drugs, I would say I would like to smoke opium. However, I'm not going to smoke opium. So, it all comes from plants and poppy seeds. Ugh. Anyway, what YouTube has been doing is they are sending me people who, yeah, I'm not going to shoot up. I'm not going to do that. But I'm saying, I always told my kids when I hit my 50s, I'd become a needle junkie just to fuck them up for the shit that they did to me. That's what I said. And I love the idea of doing it, but I don't want to do it. Like, I wish I had the wherewithal to just tune out and say fuck it to society and just wander aimlessly through it with shooting up. Must be nice to just let go of all your responsibility and do it. I don't believe it's an addiction. I believe it can become an addiction. I believe it can become an addiction. That's what I believe. And I believe that as an addiction, okay, as an addiction, you can then, once it becomes an addiction, you can have a hard time. And I believe mentally you can have a hard time because I have a hard time cutting food out of my diet, whatever it is. But I do not believe it's a disease. I'm not going there. I never did. I didn't when my father was an alcoholic. I did not. The doctors came to the house and they're like, he has a disease. I'm like, fuck that guy. He chooses to drink. I think I was 12. I didn't buy it for a second. I'm like, he doesn't have to drink. He chooses to drinks. To drink. And it pissed me off. I was like, no, he's choosing that. No one's telling him. No one's forcing him. He doesn't have to fucking have that shit in the house. So I just never bought into it. It's like, oh, he has an addiction. He's trying. Well, isn't that nice? No, he has a responsibility to stop doing what causes such chaos in his entire family's life and everybody around him and his kids. If you don't have kids, your girlfriends, your boyfriends, all of that, it's terrible. Anyway, Carrie, no, I heard YouTube. Anyway, YouTube right now, let's see, doing drugs and alcohol is a choice, period. It's a total choice. No one tells you to keep doing it. Yeah, wow, you're going to miss doing heroin and shooting up. Yes, you will. And you will have a physical effect. And you have to detox yourself. I'm not disputing any of that. But it's still your fucking choice to be a bitch or a prick and inflict this pain on society, which it is not a good thing to inflict. Anyway, I believe it's a choice. I fought my father as a kid, so I'm probably mentally demented from that. But even as a kid, I was like, bullshit, you chose that. You chose that. You are doing that to us, not to yourself. It's fucking affecting me. You're drunk. So that's it. But YouTube is sending people who want me to do promotions on my show, and they're trying to do it, and I'm not getting the same amount of subscribers. So they're really toning down the subscribers. I went from 2,800 new subscribers in 28 days, so like whatever that is, 100 subscribers a day, down to less than 100. And I feel like they're doing it on purpose. Then they're sending me these people who want me to sign up, whatever, so I can blah, blah, blah. I don't want to do that. So I just told them no. But anyway, that's what I said. I feel like it's a whole game. I feel like they want you to do it and they want to catch you. And if you don't need them or want them, it's a problem. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not a conspiracy theory anything. I'm sure they are. They removed David Icke. Let's see. I'm addicted to coffee and espresso. No chaos. Yeah, me too. Me too. I am. It sounds like a game what they're doing. Yeah, I'm sorry your mother was a heroin addict. That's difficult for you, the children, and you, the family. The reason she's a heroin addict is because she has undiagnosed trauma that she hasn't dealt with. We all have trauma. We all have to deal with our trauma. A cop-out is, I'm going to be a heroin addict, especially after I have kids. It's very, very sad, and I'm not saying she did it deliberately, but it is a choice. It is a choice to do heroin. It just is. They say it isn't. It is. It's choice to drink. It's choice to do all of that. Sorry. It causes, so it's the number one cause of chaos. The more drug addicted, the more like sexually abused people are, the more people are not watched. It's a problem and people don't see it. Let's see, my niece, fentanyl overdose. It's terrible. Well, the drugs run rampant through my family. And my example as a parent was to be sober, and I got mocked for it. Literally got mocked. I can see being a speed junkie because it keeps you awake. It could also make you crazy, right? But I could see literally being a speed junkie. And it's horrible to have a parent that's an addict. It's terrible. It's a choice. Yes, it's a choice to be a nicotine addict. Yes, it is. Put the cigarettes down. Yes. I'm not saying it's easy. You may have a hard time with it. I'm not disputing I am not disputing any of that. What I'm saying to you is you have a choice. People do quit doing things. Overeating. Do you think you have a choice? Stop overeating. It's a hormonal thing. It affects receptors in the brain. So where food is different is we have food in our fridge. So you have to watch what you buy. That's what you have to do. You have to not allow it in your house. Problem is with food, okay, if you allow it in your house, you're probably going to fucking eat it. So don't buy it. That's a choice what you buy. And yes, you don't need to overeat. That's a compulsion. Drugs are a compulsion. It's a compulsion. Yeah, dopamine addicts, like, sure. Um, Menopause and overeating. Yeah, that's a hard one. You have to really scale back by about 200 calories and up your exercise. You have to exercise 7 days a week. I always have. I would not look like I do if I didn't. I have to. Okay. And I can be, as I said, I can go within 20 pounds. Menopause will add weight. You have to actually do extra exercise to get that out and drop 200 calories. Oh my God, your mom died of a heroin overdose. See, I'm really sorry about that. And I know she didn't mean to do it by the time she did it. I know she didn't. Don't grocery shop when you're hungry, right? Because you'll be eating all that shit. You will be eating all of that. But don't put it I don't put it in my house. This is how I eat. If I want a piece of cake, I go to the store and buy one piece of cake, right? And then if I don't eat it, I throw it in the sink and throw water on it so I don't eat it. I do not go buy a cake. I do not buy a box of cookies. I do not keep it in my house. If I keep it in my house, it's very hard to sleep with menopause, more exercise. If I keep it in my house, I'm going to eat it, all of it. All right, you guys, that's what's going to happen. And thank you all for the super chats. Make a list. And if you want junk food, look at what low-fat junk, oh shoot, my phone's about to give out. Look what low-calorie junk food is. Eat popcorn, eat apples with a piece of cheese. Do something like that, okay? Do that kind of thing, all right? And I just have to ask this idiot troll, what is wrong with people making money doing their profession? Why would that be a problem? Everybody gets rich, and whatever rich means, everybody gets rich, which they don't, but people make money doing their job. So you're going to mock people for doing their job? Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. My reading books are open, I think, for 3 days. The 24th to the 27th, I think you have to look on the calendar. I can't even remember. Most fruit is sweet. Yeah, eat what you want. Share a slice with your kids. Cut half of something out. Exactly. Meat and cheese piggybacks. Yeah, exactly. Meat and cheese, that's protein. Like, whoever the person is on here, there's a person on here. But no, what I was going to say, when you're sober in this country, I used to have a friend that used to try to put alcohol in my soda and do that kind of thing because I was sober. People do not like you when you're sober. They don't like you. You go against their narrative. We're all taught that you should have fun, you should drink, you should relax, it's good, it's blah, like that. No. And when it comes to overeating, which I am an overeater, I was a compulsive overeater as a child. So I've always had food issues, not a lie. I had like forms of bulimia, forms of not eating, forms of weird not eating food. So let's see, comment if you're a psychic, who I am. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Anyway, when it comes to food, you have to learn to eat. If you want sugar, eat it. Don't go eat like a cheesecake with 500 calories. Go find some low-fat ice cream. Or whatever, low sugar, low fat. Put something on it. Put a little whipped cream and a little chocolate sauce on it, enough to get to go through that. And then don't eat more of it. Eat a banana. Eat what's the watermelon, whatever, but learn different ways, okay? Learn different ways to satisfy yourself. You don't have to do that. Whoever that troll is, jealous, because you're not cute. Why don't you put your picture up? You're not cute. Eat carrots. Carrots are yummy. Although if you're wanting like something chocolate, right? Methadone, I feel, is a drug, but if you have to use Suboxone or methadone, to get off the drug, then you have to do what you have to do to detox, right? Well, no, low fat, low sugar, plain yogurt, and put something in it. But I really don't bring it into the house. So I have bread in the freezer. If I let's say I want to eat sugar and I stock my house up with sugar things. The next day when I realize what a pig and I spent $30 buying sugar foods, yeah, Rob Ford said he had a disease. Yeah, sex addict, everything, but it was a choice. I throw the food out. I put it in the garbage. I make myself get up and go to the store to buy the junk that I want to eat. That is what I do. That is what I do. I do not keep it in the house where it's easily accessible. I put a shirt on, I freeze, and I go out in the car and I do it. That is what I do. So my fridge is empty. People come over. It has eggs in it and bread and jam and yogurt and things like that. But that's what I do. I make myself accountable for what I eat. So when I go and I buy a cake and I eat half a cake, I'm like, I ate half the cake because I chose to go into the store and eat half the cake, buy a half the cake. So I'm aware of what I did. I can't throw it off. That's just what I do. When I wake up in the morning to exercise, my treat to myself is I go through the Starbucks drive-through before I exercise. So the only reason I get out of bed, I don't go on the computer, I don't do anything. I literally pop out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. I feed little Mew Mew, and then I go through the drive-through and I'm like, you're going to get your espresso the way you want to. It costs me money, yes, but I put my mind on getting out of the house. So I dress in workout clothes and I don't allow myself to come back home until I've exercised. Okay. Now, if I don't feel well, I may just walk a little bit, but I drive somewhere to exercise. California, you do that, like to the different hills. So I pick one, but I don't allow myself to lay around and make an excuse. Out the door first thing. And then, and then what I do is I come back and I work. So that's the first thing. I make myself get out of the door. That's it. That's the only thing I can tell you, or I wouldn't get out the door. No such thing as California sober. I don't know what California sober means they smoke weed, I think. I think that's what it is. Yeah, well, go to the salad bar. I don't care if you drive through the drive-through of a like a grilled chicken or like a place that I'm going to go order salad from a restaurant. There's no problem with that if you know what you're ordering, right? That's what I do. All right, you guys. There you go. Yeah, Peter, you're just jealous. Peter's jealous. Na 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 boo boo. Na 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 boo boo. There you go. Anyway, that's what you do. I have to make little treats for myself to leave the house. And if it's a $4 coffee, it's a $4 coffee. That is expensive. But if I make it in my house, I might not leave my house. So my goal is to get myself in the car. And then I know mentally I have to exercise, right? So there. So there. All right, you guys. I know. Peter's jealous. Have a good night, you guys. And I will talk to you soon. And the book is open if anybody wants to look at the book. And there was something else. Oh my God. I got the most beautiful package. Wait, let me tell you. I got the most beautiful package. Let me thank them. Yvonne sent me a Christmas card. And I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Let me see. We have Christmas. Who is this from? Irene sent me a Christmas card. Beautiful Irene. Thank you so much. Irene sent me a Christmas card. Psychic Ray sent me a Christmas card. Look at his cute little face, Psychic Ray. And I got, little Cassidy sent me a Christmas card. Cute Cass. And then this one is from Karina. Karina, your gifts to Mew Mew and everything that you sent was fantastic. Mew Mew got a whole care package. You guys have sent the Mew a lot of care packages. And she loves each and every box. Yeah, Psychic Ray. I know, I opened the card. I'm like, wait, isn't that Psychic Ray? And it was. It was Psychic Ray. So that's his cute. Here, we'll put his picture up again. There he is. I like the picture. It's a nice card. It's a cute card. So there you go. All right, you guys. And this is kind of funny. What is this? I'm looking at all kinds of stuff. Thank you all for everything. Watermelon and lime juice sounds delicious. I don't know why it sounds delicious right now, but anyway, yeah, he sent a very nice card. So thank you. Learn to spell. You guys are funny. Na 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 boo boo. Okay, I'm over being a 5-year-old. Thank you guys so much for participating, and thank you so much. Thank you, all of you. God bless you, and thank you for all the gifts for me, for Rascal, and for, I just picked up Veronica's beautiful gift from Deanna, and Deanna's beautiful gift. I didn't make it over there. I made it over there, and then I forgot to take the gifts. Anyway, na 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 boo boo. Thank you all for everything. Bye, you guys. Bye.